So Arinthia, we've looked at how to have an impromptu meeting, an ad hoc meeting, what Microsoft Teams calls Meeting Now. But a lot of times our meetings are scheduled. It's something that's a planned staff meeting or a planned project meeting. What's the biggest challenge you've had when trying to schedule a team meeting?
The biggest issue definitely is trying to find a time that everyone can meet together at the same time.
That is everybody's biggest challenge. And so Microsoft Teams gives us a way to solve at least part of that. Let's take a look at how we do it. So if I want to schedule a meeting in Microsoft Teams, there's two ways I can do it. You remember before when we started to do a meeting down here, there was an option to schedule a meeting?
I did.
If I click on that, it opens this box, but I want to show you where we can also get to this. If I go over here on the left side and go into Meetings on our left side menu, and then choose Schedule a Meeting, I get that exact same box. Now let's go through our options here. Title is what we're going to call the meeting, so let's call it Staff Meeting. Now for the location, if our company has different locations set up, we can choose it from here. We don't have any set up in this one. Now we need to choose a date and time for the meeting. So one option is I could try to schedule it. Let's say that I want to have it for tomorrow at 11 a.m. and run to 11:30. And if it's going to be a repeating meeting, I could choose that and choose whether it's going to be every day or every week or every month, but I'll uncheck that for now. The problem is I don't know if my attendees are free at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So let's say that I know that you need to be there and Aaron needs to be there. So I'm going to invite some people to this meeting. I'm going to add Aaron. And notice when I select him, a couple of things change. I now have these free times showing up underneath my times. I'm going to go ahead and add you, and then we'll talk about what those mean. So I'll add you to my list. So I've got you and I've got Aaron. So now it's giving me some suggested times. So it's suggesting 10:30, it's suggesting 12, it's suggesting 12:30 to 1. It's not liking my 11 o'clock. And the reason is because it can see our schedules. It can see what we have in our Microsoft Outlook, and it knows the times that we have blocked off. It doesn't necessarily know, and we don't need to know what the person's actually doing. It just knows that time is being taken up by something. If I want to, I can use the scheduling assistant to get a better view of what's actually going on with each person's day. So here we see my time tomorrow, and this dark block represents the time that I've chosen. I'm free. In fact, I'm free until 2:30 is what we're showing here. You're free all day, but notice that Aaron has a conflict. He has a meeting at 11 already scheduled. So in our list of attendees, it shows that you're free, Aaron is busy. So what I could do is I could change my time up here. So it looks like, for example, 12 p.m. Oops, not 12 midnight. Looks like 12 p.m. is a good time. And now we're showing you're free and Aaron's free. Now this is actually going to be an hour-long meeting, so I'm going to send that time out to 1 o'clock, and you see my block changes. I could also click down here in the scheduling assistant. So if I click on 1 o'clock, it goes ahead and chooses that time block for me, because 12 o'clock, there may be some lunch breaks in there. 1 o'clock is maybe a safer time. Even 1:30 would work from the look of things. So I can click on 2 and then click back to 1:30. I can't click inside the purple box when it's selected. So now I've changed our meeting time to 1:30 to 2:30. Now if I click on schedule here, it's going to go ahead and schedule it and put it on everybody's calendars. If I want to go back to that previous screen though, I can choose back. And notice our time is still set at where we chose in the scheduling assistant. Now I have the option to type in details for the meeting, and this is a little WYSIWYG interface like any other editor we're used to. And I have my formatting controls. If I need to underline something or italicize something, I can do that. That's going to show up in the calendar event for each of us in our Microsoft Outlook. So it's good to put a few details in there. I can also, if I need a link to a website or something, I can do that. Now, if I've chosen somebody by mistake, I can choose the X to remove them from the meeting. So notice this box up here in the top right, though, select a channel to meet in. If I leave it on the default, which is none because we started this from the left side menu, if I started this from inside a channel, that channel would already be chosen there, like we did before. But If it's set for none, then this is a private meeting. Only you and me and Aaron are going to know about it because we're the attendees listed here. Nobody else will know it's happening. It's going to be a private meeting just for us. But a lot of times we want to have our meeting in a channel because it's not necessarily something confidential we're doing. Maybe we're having a staff meeting and certain people need to be there, so we put them in as attendees, but really anybody who's part of that team could be there. So let's say that's the case, and we want to choose to meet in the Awesome Video Project team and in the general channel. Now notice when I do that, the attendees disappeared. So you and Aaron disappeared. So I want to choose that first before I choose my attendees. That's still okay. You and Aaron are part of that team. You can still come join the meeting, but it's not going to automatically show up in your calendar. So after I've chosen my channel, if I want to make sure, number one, that you're free, I need to choose you guys as attendees. And that's when my scheduling assistant's going to kick in and let us know that you're free, it's a good time, and they'll put it on your calendar too. So I've got all my settings set, and I'm going to choose schedule. Before I do that, let me show you one thing. This top left is actually a drop down. We're going to come back and talk about new live event in just a second. But for right now, we'll do a new meeting. We'll choose schedule. Now let's look at what that's done. Our description has appeared as part of the conversation in our channel. The staff meeting is there and it shows the date and time it's going to happen. If I come over here to my meetings icon, I'll see that if I scroll to tomorrow, there is a staff meeting planned. I can click on it here to see the details, including who's designated as attendees. But also, if I go to my Microsoft Outlook, and I go to my calendar, and I look at tomorrow, it shows that I have a staff meeting. The organizer is Awesome Video Project, that's the name of the team, and the location is Awesome Video Project General, that's the name of the channel. If I open that, I'll see a link to take me to the team's meeting.
Oh wow, that's really convenient.
It is, and you'll see the same thing in your Outlook, and so will Aaron, because you are all listed as attendees. So that's a really great integration between Teams and Outlook. Now let's talk about a couple of other things we can do. A lot of times when we're having a staff meeting like this, it's great that we have all of these tools inside Teams. We can do the webcam, we can do the video chats, we can co-edit documents, we can share files, share screens, but sometimes we're actually in the same room together. And if you have a lot of laptops all in the same room, all with their microphones and speakers going, you're going to get a lot of feedback and echo. So there are devices called Microsoft Teams Rooms that are designed for conference room situations where you have maybe a console on the table like we see here, maybe a wall-mounted video camera or a ceiling-mounted video camera, maybe a full-size video wall or a large video screen, so that everybody in the room can take advantage of the meeting from that device. The nice thing about this is they're adding features to Microsoft Teams so that you can still join the meeting from your laptop, your mobile device, or your desktop, but if it recognizes that you're close to a Microsoft Teams room, it'll give you the chance to transfer your meeting to this device, and it'll automatically mute your device so you don't have multiple devices in the same room all communicating and recording each other's sound and all of that sort of thing.
Wow.